Welcome to the buy list. This is episode 39.
This is not financial advice. This is cardboard. Yeah. Still working on getting back to our professional form.
Yeah, for sure, Nate. So how's your week in Fab?
Great. I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I sold cards
same.
actually. I
Yeah.
sold a couple cards in TCG Player and shipped them.
Mhm.
Kind of relaxing after Nats. Getting some nice R&R in, rebuilding the old wife capital as they call it. So I can go to more events because I think I tapped out going to Vegas right before school started. My wife's a teacher, so it's like right before school started. So I gotta build up the old wife capital so I can go back to more events.
Yeah, Nats kind of ruined me, as I explained, I think 2 episodes ago. I think I'm still feeling the lack of sleep 2 weeks out from that event. Oh boy. But my armories on Thursday each week, and this past week I went and watched the Lions instead. So yeah, I did not do anything fab either. I sold some cards. Lions won, so that's cool over KC, which is a big deal if you watch NFL football. But if you don't, then you don't know what I'm talking about.
Suck at Mahomes.
Yeah. All right. So this week, Nate, man, they snuck in a spoiler season on us, eh?
They went back to the old tried and true. I'm glad we're back to this like little drip campaign spoiler season. People get to like put like their like touches on it and really like make an impact because like everyone in the community is like, wait, where do I need to go? What time? And it's just like everybody's just like staring.
Yeah.
Show me a cat.
Yeah.
Um what was oh gosh, what is it? Savage Land News crushed it with the opener. Man, that guy's got some like sick graphic art skills.
Yeah.
I don't know
For
what he
sure.
does for impression, but I'm sure it's draw monkeys because every seriously, every single like if you look at every single thumbnail, man's got a just sick ape on his thumbnail.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm
100%.
jealous.
Big shout out there. Yeah. The one a day's been kind of like gimme. I want more. At least for me, I'm like, man, that's what we got for today. All right, gotta wait next day. Obviously, they're saving the best for last. Shadow or Runeblade Guard. I can't wait. Um,
Dog, you just got a
anyways,
whole set. Sit
yeah, a
the
whole set.
down.
Um, Yeah, so it's been good. I like it. All jokes aside, it's been fun. It's cool that it kind of came out of nowhere, kind of surprise, it was a little bit of a surprise. And it's pretty awesome that they're doing the expansion slot rundown, right? So I think it adds a little bit of hype because just as I mentioned, right, everybody kind of gets their own, brute players got their card, and now we keep going down them. So this episode, we're going to dive into it and look at what we have spoiled so far at time of recording, Nate. First thing right off the bat, what is the expansion slot? I think we went through this previously, but if you're kind of just checking in, checking on spoilers, couple notes, and this was taken right from the article for Bright Lights. They're 1 in 15 packs. It replaces the one thing that I didn't put on this in text here is that it replaces the token slot in these packs. So kind of acts like the cold foil we've been seeing in Fab 2.0 sets, where if you're drafting, you just get to pull that out and keep it because it's in the token slot. Um, and LSS's words right here: expand the story within the wider world of Wraith. This one's this is when I was like putting this on the slide here, Nate, I was like, what does that mean? This one's kind of just a warm and fuzzy statement. I think I don't know what they have cooking up, but I'm excited to see what's going on there. But then the next 2 points here: expand the tournament card pool for classes and or talents. That's a big thing, right? We've already seen that with the spoilers. We'll get into those when we look at the cards, and then serve as an avenue to reprint key cards. So we know Tunic is coming in the expansion slot, which is great. Already affecting Tunic prices on TCG Player, which is good to see, kind of tempering those prices down.
It's we can kind of jump right into it, and like the cards that we've seen so far for the expansion slot. Um, I am shocked that Bolton got another card. Like they could give Bolton 10 more cards, but as long as they continue to be like mid as hell, Bolton's gonna be mid as hell. No shots fired. This card just like doesn't solve the fundamental problem of him like charging, like having going
Yeah,
neg one card every turn. It's like Vincett's key problem. It's like going neg one card every turn in a game where you don't draw one card every turn, you draw a fresh new hand
yep.
is very impactful.
Yeah, you
I
need
do
a
really
pile
like
of cards to play this card, right, in your hand. And you get to do it once. I know, at least for me right now, it's hard to see its action cost to destroy this. The next time you attack this turn, you may charge your hero's soul. If it's a yellow card, is charged this way, draw a card, go again. Temper blocks 2. So that's
the
a lot of cards, man. You got to pay for that. You got to attack. You got to charge. It's got to be yellow. And then you get, after all of that, you get to destroy your headpiece. And then you get a card. What card are you going to draw that?
Oh shit. Ted, you better start using I need an abacus here for whenever we have to like break out hard math. Cause like listen, I'm gonna need an abacus
uh,
to figure out how this is good.
1 card,
Um
2 card, 3
yeah.
card.
In all reality, like it's not terrible.
No.
The weird part about it is that you like if you're pitching a yellow because you're running a very yellow deck,
Mm,
so you pitch one card to crack this. So you destroy your headpiece and you've pitched a card out of your hand. Now let's say like you have no charge cards in your hand. Now you attack with like, I don't know, whatever you want. Call it a snatch. You now have to have another yellow card in your hand to put into your soul. And only then, after spending 2 entire cards,
you
you
get
get to draw a random card off the top of your deck and hope that card doesn't suck. Which, spoiler alert, if it's in your Bolton deck, half of those cards suck. I'm I'm just being real. Half of them say, "Put me in your soul," and the other half say, "Block with me." And then there's Lumina, Beaver the Vanguard, in the end of list.
yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
coming from someone who loves Bolton. I love playing Bolton, but all those cards suck. I'm sorry. They're engulfing light ain't getting anyone's pants on fire. I can tell you that right
No.
now.
No, definitely not. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think this I mean the best way I can put this, Nate. I'm not a Bolton guy, so but I mean, I hope this plays better than it reads. You know,
Yep.
I've definitely been caught off guard with some legendaries where I'm like, okay, well that was much better than it looks like when spoiled. I think it's interesting. It's EA. Like the cool thing is it's EA. That cold foil is going to be hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, we'll see. I guess it's like solid-ish and gives Bolton another tool.
Yes. Josh Lau actually did a video on this and explained some of the play lines. It's not the worst thing in the world. It gets a lot better if you have a blue. I'll tell you
Mm,
that.
yeah.
But also, Bolton is now like a deck that's built towards only playing yellow, so it's like quite
Yeah.
awkward. Um, but Josh Lau did a very good video on like some of the play lines that really make this card shine. So it's not
Hmm.
the worst thing in the world. It's just like, I don't know, give me something broken.
Hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of
Speaking
other,
of broken, yeah.
yeah, which way are we gonna
Which
go
way are
with
we
this?
going
Are we
with
gonna
this?
are
We
we gonna go
started.
with
Yeah.
cards that might play better than they read or broken? Which way you want to go,
Yeah.
Ted?
Let's go with the broken.
All right, which broken card we picking?
Let's start with already dead.
Card slaps.
Ooh, man, this card keeps me up at night. I kind of like read it and then I was like, oh, and then I was like, wait, if there's any go again happening in any assassin, they can banish a card from like a previous chain link. So that's like your armor's never safe, my friends. Hold your armor tight. Like you can only get hit by this when it absolutely is like the last like part of the game. Because if you get whacked with this and they like banish some of your battle worn armor or your temper armor and you're at like 32, you both are at like 30, you're in trouble. Like you can't let this hit you early in the game, man. Like yeah, rough times. And then they get to banish a top card too, which is like devastating. Not as devastating as the armor, but it's like it sucks. It's not cool.
Yeah, I think this card's very strong. It's 6, which means it's a popper, blocks 3. It gives Yuzuri another swap threat with
Yeah.
very relevant text,
Hmm.
especially in like a more like red line aggressive Yuzuri list.
Yep.
Like they can't just like randomly throw armor at like let's say you go like E straight go again. Like they don't just get to
Yeah.
put armor in front of that anymore. Um,
Yep.
it when they put armor in front of things, they have to be very selective and understand the potential blowouts, or they just like if it's Crater Fist, listen, that card literally just says block 3 on it, so they can put it in front of that.
Yeah.
Um, but that's the thing about this card is like it it punishes it punishes through its existence more than it actually punishes through its play.
Mm. Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Because you just like I said, I feel like if you have something that's key to your game plan, right? I should have probably thought of some key armor. I always go to grass,
Grasp,
but grasp is not a key armor in this game anymore. I should have.
tech, yeah, tech plating,
Technically, yeah, tech plating is one that you definitely want to have around for a while.
Tekla Foundry Heart.
Yeah. So there's definitely some chess pieces out there you want to not
Mhm.
have banished randomly. So, man, I
Wow.
am scared of what is it? Isolate? That's the dominate pay
Yeah,
attack. Yeah.
yeah.
Man, come on.
Come
don't
on,
don't do it
man.
because they swap this in and you're trying to block it out and you're just like, oh, I'm sad.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
only that, it's like and then you have, like, a D react on top of it, they shred
Mhm.
it, and it's just like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
and I guess I'll just scoop up and I'll go home, thank you."
Yeah. Yeah,
Um
welcome to Juice Town population you, bro. So yeah, this card's really good.
Very good.
And then Shriek Razors. This card, I think we talked about it a bit, Nate. I think this reads a little bit. This might play better than it reads. So basically, it has the assassin text where you can spend 2 silvers and equip it out of your graveyard, and then attack reaction costs 2. Destroy this target attack action cards defending an assassin attack. It's -1 defense. Battle worn, which is interesting, and then battle worn 1 actually. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't to me, it reads like bad breaking scales, and breaking scales already, like, punishes opponents for, like, having to block because it's like, "Alright, now I have to block over by 1."
Yeah.
Um, and that's kinda what this does, but Yuzuri has a lot more on hits.
Hmm.
Um, so it's quite interesting there. Well, it really will be a the time will tell kinda card. Like,
Yeah.
does this actually make sense? Does it fit the resource curve? Because 2 is a lot of dollars to pay.
Yeah. I was just gonna say this looks expensive to me. Especially when your swords are too like not that you would be sorting on the turn that you're activating this, but it's just like it all adds up, right? It's like what can you do
Yeah.
on your turn, right? With minimum um when you're blocking, right? Figuring out that resource curve with your hand. And then the last one, Tome of the Imperial Flame. This one I was a little bit surprised by actually. I was like, "Oh wow, that's actually quite spicy." No blocks and yeah, let's just read it here. Draw a card. If you're a royal, instead draw 2 cards. You may pitch 2 red cards if you don't banish your hand. So basically, you have to pay 2 red cards to play this card, but you draw 2 cards if you're a royal.
It basically says create 2 resources. 3 because you're probably running flame scale furnace.
Right. Yep.
So it's quite good.
Yep. Yeah.
Like very, very good. Um, it it will probably be the most I mean, we haven't even seen any other Majestics, but I have a feeling that this will be the most expensive Majestic in the set, and it won't be particularly close. It is
Yeah.
probably a Draw My staple going forward. I know, like, Fino and Mara talked for literally 3 hours about this card.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I saw that live stream. I was like, "Ooh, they're deep in the
3
thing."
freaking hours. I can't talk to someone for 3 hours,
No,
but they did it,
they
and
did.
it was about 1 card.
Oh my god. I
Like,
saw a tweet from her where she was like play testing it, and I was like, "Oh my god, she played all the dragons."
yeah,
I was like,
it's
"Oh,
insane. It is a very, very good card. It makes Emperor playable,
which is pretty cool."
maybe? Don't know. Emperor stonks?
The
Um,
question there is Blitz playable? The hero might be
no
playable, but
comment.
is the format playable?
No comment.
We're
I
no
I
we're
want
known
I want a
haters at
I
this
want a
point.
spoiler. I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Oh man.
But
Yeah,
I think,
man.
that kinda leads into, like, our, like, final talking point about the expansion slot. We haven't seen the entire, oh, sorry, we got 2
Yeah.
other cards.
Yeah, yeah.
Cards are
Let's
These
yeah,
cards are
these
mid.
two.
Can we talk about the expansion slot? These cards are mid. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
really
These
wanna.
cards are not great. Like we want to I did want to just talk about them a little bit. They're pretty mid. It's just like wax off kind of is like I don't understand it. It's a blue 0, so like I get that part of it, but then playing 2 defense reactions on a turn as ninja is like okay. Maybe there's some defensive ninja coming in the Mysterious set in like 6 months or something, and they're like teasing it, but yeah. And then smashing performance. Anyways,
Listen, flavor, 100%.
yeah, yeah, wax on, wax off is sweet.
Wax off, I legit I thought that LSS went absolutely rogue and insane, and I thought you literally just had to play the card and get a Zen States token. I was like,
Yeah,
"This card is the most broken card they've literally ever printed." People cry about codex, but they just printed, like, defensive
yeah,
codex times 100.
yeah, that would be nuts.
Turns out not all that great. I
No.
think it, like, might be, like, kind of mid. I don't know. I'm not gonna write it off yet, but I'm also not, like, gonna go like, buy up as many rainbow foils as I can
Instead
because I
of
think it's
yeah.
gonna go to the moon.
Instead of defending with your cards as a ninja, why don't you just punch people straight in the throat? I think I think Katsu proved this weekend again that he is good at just like yeah, right in the throat, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just I'd rather do that, you know. Anyways, and then smashing performance, sideboard card, obviously we're getting tons of items, so Brute needs to keep destroying those items.
Yes.
I think more
Yeah,
people
it's
were
literally their only job, dude.
I think a lot of people got us super excited for maybe one day we get a hero that's named Cox, the Deathmatch Fight Master.
Okay,
That is
art,
a wordy, yeah,
no
name.
block.
Yeah, Nate, that is a tenant of the Brute class, and you will learn to love it.
It just why can't it just block 2? Give me a block 2 at
No,
least.
it must block none, not even 0.
Give it the ball lightning trip. Give it a block 0. At
Yeah,
least let me
there you go.
block with it,
Yeah,
okay?
but
So, now after we talked about the mid cards, we get to have the fun talk about the expansion slot and what it means. But we kinda like breaking it down. We haven't seen everything yet, so depending on if we get another legendary or not out of the expansion slot, we could see like the expansion cards will be relatively hard to get.
yeah, 1 in
It
15
will
packs is relevant.
Yeah, 1 in 15 packs, which means if there are just 11 normal Majestics or 12, it will be anywhere between, like, 5.5 to almost 6 cases to get a full playset of just Majestics. Um, and then that means the legendaries are gonna be roughly the same, depending on drop rates. That is what I would expect. If we get 3 legendaries, it mathematically makes the most sense.
Yeah.
If I'm designing, like, a opening experience, it makes the most sense to do 3 legendaries in the expansion slot and then 12 non-foil Majestics. Well, I guess Majestics, they don't even have to. Holy crap, foil Majestics of these are gonna be like
Oh. Dude,
Oh my god.
I never even thought of foil variants in the expansion slot.
Yeah.
Impossible to get.
So, if you open 5 cases, you're gonna get basically 32 expansion cards, which means you'll get, like, 2 of every Majestic, and some of those will be rainbow foil, and then, you might get, like, 3 or 4 you'll get, like, 3 legendaries,
Yeah.
depending, but my guess is that they're gonna engineer it so it would be an expansion legendary once every 2 cases, and then it would take roughly 6 cases to hit a full playset
Hmm.
of Majestics and legendaries, but now thinking that there's also rainbow foils that are going to exist, we're going to have
Do you think maybe there just isn't rainbow foils?
no, no, that's
Yeah,
insanity.
yeah, maybe. Anyways, I mean, I think what we're yeah, like again, I think once we see the whole expansion slot, we can kind of get a better idea of what we're looking at. Um, but I think TCG Ted and Nate over here are saying when you're opening bright lights, folks, don't go off
Ex
selling those much. Like we said this when when Dust Till Dawn came out and Outsiders came out. I think maybe we started a little bit after launch weekend for Outsiders. Careful, you might want to just take a. I'm gonna take. Okay, so let me put it this way. I don't want to give out this hard advice right now because we're so far out. But for me personally, I'm going to be waiting and seeing expansion slot cards. When I open one, I'm going to hold on to it for a second and be like, because I think these Majestics are going to be could be quite pricey on the,
Yes, I think especially for the playable ones, like, you look at, like, Tome, I
yeah,
think there will be a race to the bottom in the initial 2 days, 3 days,
yeah,
and then you will see it just,
yeah. I think
um
there's always this artificial like, uh, not artificial scarcity, but it's like the other way, like artificial flooding because everyone's opening hundreds
yeah.
of boxes and stuff all in the same weekend. So then you're like, man, I saw like even as a player, you could go on the Facebook group or the Discord and like scroll through and be like, ah, I see like play sets of these and all this stuff. And then I think these cards I think these cards might dry up quite quickly, especially with
Mhm.
how Bright Lights is designed. Because I mean, people are gonna open like mech players are gonna open up what they want to get a play set. And then, I don't know, like, yeah, you're gonna have lots of drafts happening, but outside of
Th
that, I don't think this isn't like Dust Till Dawn where you're like, oh, maybe I can get an angel in this box.
this is gonna be a set that a lot of people just buy singles, and with how hard the expansion set will be to hit, the singles will be moving quickly there, and, like, I think I saw it a lot with Dust Till Dawn. I think you're starting to see it now that you're starting to sell more,
Yeah.
is that Dust Till Dawn singles move
Oh yeah.
out,
Yeah, all the time.
and it's because people just didn't open the product, and they just skipped it, and they just picked up their singles as they went,
Yeah.
um, which, like,
Perfectly fine. Yeah.
I think that bright lights will be that plus some, and if what my contact told me is true, there is not going to be a whole lot of bright lights.
That
He he told, like, basically, it's this the source I get my boxes from implied that we are we are a small percentage of the United States sprint run, but we are a percentage of the United States sprint run,
Yeah,
which was a which
which
was
is kind of a
a shock.
surprise. Yeah.
Um,
And that doesn't, I mean, logically, that doesn't, I mean, it sounds surprising when you told me that. I was like, holy smokes. But then when you kind of think through it, it makes sense for LSS to be very
tight
cautious
with
with
this
this
one.
set. Yeah, yeah. Like
Yep.
print just as much as they need. First wave, because they do Fab 2.0 in waves. I'm sure first wave is a much lower number than previous Fab 2.0 sets, and then waves after that will trickle out as needed. I think is likely what we see. Um, but
Yep.
yeah, I would imagine they're keeping this one close to the vest. You listen to James White in his art and his interview with uh, Instant Speed with Flake. I think he kind of even alluded to that a bit. If you ask me, when I listened to it, I was like, okay, yeah, he understands that this is a risky product for LSS. I think,
Mhm.
but I'm excited for it. So that's gonna be pretty. I'm pumped for it, man. I think it's gonna be awesome. I am excited to crack some packs. I'm excited to bring packs to my family that watch my stream. I've been saying that's maybe weekly now, right? But it'll be fun just to shuffle up some cards, show them how to play the game, etc.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but all right, Nate. So we're gonna be keeping our eyes on those spoilers. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a update next week, but for now, we just wanted to get our thoughts out there on what we've seen so far. Exciting stuff. Expansion slot. Put it in every product, please. Especially if you're gonna give us these kind of quality cards. There's some heat already, and I'm excited to see what else is
Mhm.
coming.
Yeah, I'm just it's amazing that, like, we're kind of right on the back. This is kind of right when stuff starts to feel a little stale in terms of the meta. And normally we have to wait, like, another month and a half
Yeah,
plus for a product, but, like, we've got
short turnaround
I
this
mean,
time.
we got, like, 2 weeks until pre-releases.
That's sick.
Dude, let's
Yeah, let's
go.
go, man. That's awesome. All right. But all right. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Again, thank you for watching. Please sub, please like, hit the bell so that you're reminded when we drop these videos and when I go live. And I appreciate all of you.
Peace.
Peace.